If you play Dynasty League Baseball online, you will be happy to know that it is indeed Dynasty League Baseball Christmas Day. The cards are online for 2025. So, I had a minor peek this morning, but nothing serious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I get the Grapenut League ready for a new season of play. The first thing I did, you have to click on your commissioner page. First thing I did was change player season. I did this in bed this morning upon learning the news. There was a rumor that it was coming out yesterday. So I checked in. Last time I checked in was probably around 11. It was out overnight. One of the guys in our league posted to our WhatsApp group around 2:30 or 3 in the morning. I'd already fallen asleep though. So what you do is you hit change season and you change it to whatever season you want to play, all the way back to 1957. Cancel that. So we're going to go to edit the rosters first. That's always the trick, the most labor intensive part. So I'm going to just record me doing my team, so I show you how to do it, and then I'll show you how I pick the other 3 teams to start. So let's see. Let's leave who we have in. Because it's my team, I know who I have this year and who I don't have. I don't have to go through a list as much. Still have all these guys, fortunately or unfortunately. We don't have Tyler Freeman, he was a taxi squad guy. He got the clutch, which is too bad that we didn't keep him. I traded Luis Robert last summer. On top of a couple people that we added. We traded Jason Adam last summer. Luis Castillo last summer. Kenley Jansen got the Jam Plus. Traded him last summer. Daniel Lynch was Taxi Squad. Kiter Montero, Taxi Squad. Martin Perez, I don't know what I did with him. Can't remember. So what we'll do is we'll go to like a splitty screen kind of deal here. Bring up my roster. Low still on there, Donovan. Zach McKinstry. All right. There's probably a better way to do this, but I haven't discovered it yet. McKinstry I got for Castillo. Perdomo. Adrian Del Castillo I got for Kenley Jansen, I think. Or Jason Adam, I can't remember. Oh, you're not going outside, Cito. You don't need to go outside, buddy. Lourdes Gurriel I just picked up for Starlin Caba. What's the matter, pal? You've already had treats and everything. Something must be happening. Hang on 1 minute. No emergency. Just more treats. He just wanted more treats. Oh, I lost my... All right. Ugh. Come on with this here. The moral of the story is don't listen to your cat. All right. Where were we? Good Lord. Come on. You fight with this every time. All right. Okay, where were we? Lourdes Gurriel. I think we got him on there. Yeah, okay. Thomas and Matos. Okay, they're on the roster. Good, good. So we can shoot over to pitchers now. Crochet's good. Gilbert. Merrill Kelly, I just traded a lot to get. I probably overpaid by quite a bit, but I felt it was worth it. I gave up Lombard, Owen Casey, and a first-round pick to get Merrill Kelly. So that gives me a real solid 4. And then 5-6 is Cease and Luzardo. Kelly, Luzardo, Sean Burke. I wonder if he's on there. Nope, no Burke on there. I need a couple closer types. Easier said than done. I don't pick till the second round. That means 30 players will already be gone by the time I pick the first time. Tony Saint-Tian had a good year. That was a good pickup. That was one of the Del Castillo. He was in the same trade as Del Castillo. I think that might have been for Kenley Jansen or Jason Adam. I can't remember. Either or. I think that's Perkses, Crochet, Gilbert. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably enough to start the season. I'll probably have to throw a couple free agent relievers in there. Usually just reference this. This is who's available for next year. I wonder, because they have a... I don't think our rosters have been updated. The card year probably hasn't been turned over yet. No. So league free agents. I wonder if they stayed up. It shouldn't have changed much. Nope. Okay. So what I do is I like to see who is probably going to be competing with me for playoff spots. And last year, I think two of the best teams are Seattle and Chicago again. So I'll put them in there, and then I'll put Miami in there because for some reason everybody wants to watch Miami. I think that's still one of my biggest views is against Miami. And it's my friend's team, so he gets to see his cards and stuff like that too. So let's have a look here. So I will fix up all those other teams, and then I'll come back to this and I'll show you the rest. So I'll just put this on pause. So I'm just going to show you how we change the team stuff. So we're getting rid of Toronto Lions, and we're going to make that the Miami Vice. So just go to, just to show you where we are. We're on the team page. And team settings. And that's that. All right, so we've got the teams all set up. Should be able to go into here and get a pretty complete look at who's on rosters and stuff like that. So let's do that, shall we? But before we do that, little brag. Boston Mob, you are the league champion. So on Fantrax, which is where we keep all our rosters and picks and stuff like that organized, the system will it'll just play a points-based game. And some guys participate, most guys don't. But I came out on top last year. Pretty cool. Let's see here. It was there's the actual page. That was my screensaver. I had to save that. So I came out on top of the Clubbers and the Storm. San Francisco is going to have a good year. And Atlanta looks decent. A few other teams. Houston was pretty good. See, a lot of these teams, they don't set their rosters up to play in this little game here. Whereas I'm pretty sure Seattle and what's going on here? Seattle and the Clubbers they might not have been grinding it all year long as much as I was, but they were making changes and stuff. They were setting things up. All right, well, that didn't work. Sometimes with these old past seasons, it takes a while to bring things up. Anyway, why I went back to last year is it's handy for this. You don't have to keep changing. It's got all the free agents, how they came out points wise, which is a little different than what we do in the simulation game, but you can generally tell who's going to have a really good card, and then it saves you digging through a lot of crap. You look at the top 60 or 80 players, and then you see what their cards look like. So having done that, let's take a look at the Boston Mob for next year. I haven't really looked at all the cards. I've seen a few. I've seen whoever was in the playoffs, the division playoffs and the World Series. It was just a handful of cards. I haven't seen all of them yet. I've got a quick peek at who had symbols. I was kind of disappointed that Perdomo didn't get the clutch. I'll be bitching about that all year. So Crawford's probably going to be my leadoff hitter most of the year. He's got good on base, both sides. Not as fast as he used to be. A, durability, and B, intangibles is handy. He'll be DHing a lot, so we'll see how that works out. I'm going to put Perdomo second. Let's just go one by one, though. See what Del Castillo got. Got a +2. That's not the worst in the world. It's not great, but... oh, he didn't get limited against lefty. Good. Okay. Probably because he was so horrible. Just a few walks. Against righties is almost usable. B power from the left-hand side. And I don't have to worry about limits or anything like that. He's a nice backup catcher for a potential prospect. Castillo got the hit and run A1B. All right. That's handy. C plus 90. Yeah, he was a little limited. He had a sports hernia, and he played through it the last half. Before that happened, he was an all-star, so he's a pretty good player. I think I'll probably wind up hitting him third. Gurriel Jr. I'll play against lefties more than likely. I got a -2 arm and left. Okay. That's handy. This is kind of like an unboxing for me, too. Just let's see what Santa Cieslinski gave to the Boston Mob for Christmas. Yeah, I didn't know how this card was going to turn out entirely. I have 3 young shortstops. I had 3 young shortstops. I traded Lombard. I traded Caba straight up for Gurriel. And I still have Jefferson Rojas. But I still have Crawford, and I still have Perdomo, of course, as a shortstop. So you can't brag about Perdomo enough. He had a great year last year. Tried to watch almost all his at-bats. He was just a grind every at-bat. He's got to be, if he's not clutch, he's got to at least be intangible A. Key Brian Hayes got the A plus 100 at third base. That's about all he'll bring to the table. No durability issues, which is good. A usable, if not great. It's not a good card, but you can put him out there if you have to, as a regular starter at third, for a little while anyway. Wouldn't want to have to rely on it all year, but it's not the worst card I've ever seen. And then the A plus 100 for defense is great. Young got a B95. Nice. Might find some room in a roster against lefties for Young, although his on base wasn't great. I had a little bit of pop. Not too many numbers. Generally, when you're assessing a card, most of what you're looking at, so 0 to 115 is the same on every card. And then the next 385 numbers is what determines whether a card is good or not. And our mythical kind of benchmark that we always talk about, it's just kind of like our shorthand. And we always say, well, he's got 200 numbers against, So that means over 50% of the rolls on his card are going to be something positive. So 200 numbers of the 385. So anywhere between 150 and 200 is very, very usable. If you have a whole team full of guys like that, you'd be pretty successful. I'm not going to break down all my cards, so that'll save my opponents from doing it if they watch this. But I don't know how many numbers he's got. Just off the top of my head, let's call it 60, 65. Yeah, probably just over 100, maybe 120 numbers. And then versus right, looks a little bit better, but less power. All right, well, might be time that Josh Young gets dealt. Max Kepler, disappointing year again. I think we've seen all we're going to see out of Max. C plus 100 and left and right. C plus 65. That's not terrible. A lot of 5 base runnings I'm seeing here. Not too quick. Yeah, we're starting to lose some steam as we age a little bit. Let's see here. Maxi. We're looking for replacements for Max. He didn't turn out to be the superstar that I thought he had the potential to be, which is okay. I mean, I got him cheap enough. Shea had a great year. He was dynamite. And not having a plus arm is handy. C plus 65, 0 arm, pass balls B, handling C. Okay. Well, it's handling creeping up. A power both ways, intangible C. Well, I don't know about that. Him and Kurtz led that team last year. Oakland. Pretty tough situations. Anyway, I can live with that. 40 number. No, let's see here. 50. Only 28 numbers right. And, 57 numbers left home runs. Okay. No walks, though. Not many walks on the right-hand side, although he is getting better. He got up to 36 last year. 8 base running. Wow. He's got to be the fastest catcher in the league. The numbers on the left side down to the bottom, 402 to 483. Nice. And it's a pretty decent range on the right side, 343 to 389. All right. So I think Shea will be our cleanup hitter most days. Let's see how Langoliers or Larnach came out. They give him DH stuff. Yeah, D80 plus 2. He's not a D. He catches everything he gets to. He's decent out there. I don't think he's ever going to be the superstar player that I thought he might be. My Oregon State players turned out like shit, and everybody else's Oregon State players from that same team, the guys who were kind of middling on that championship team, they turned out fabulous. Wow. Rushman's the jury's out on him. Good year, bad year, but Kwan's a good player. Madrigal went in the toilet, and Larnach he's average. That's a decent card. That's against righties. That's 21 numbers for home runs. Walks to 240. That's not terrible. Fair few hard ground out numbers. On the left side, you probably don't want to play him, but you might have to if you had to. Deep power, handful of walks, a lot of hards, and then down to the bottom of a couple things. That's not great. Nate Lowe we picked up after the year was over. I think I gave up like a third for him or something like that, a third and a seventh. Just because I don't really have a first baseman. D75, that's not great. Okay, well. His offensive card, B power. That's a fair range of power for as many home runs as he had. He got some extras there, and then walks to 254. It's pretty good. Not a ton of hard groundouts, and then a few numbers at the bottom. That's reasonable. Probably not going to play him much against lefties, but he's not restricted, and he's got a durability of B. McKinstry will be handy. Let's see what kind of defense they give him first. Probably where he's going to be playing is third base and first base. C75 and C50. C60 is shortstop. Well, he got a -1 in the outfield. C+, and then a C5 at second. 8 base running, steal 3 and 6. Very usable. Walks to 240. Not bad. And then a little smattering of stuff down at the bottom, but not many hard ground outs. Against lefties, I think he was a little bit better. Oh yeah, there's was almost 100 numbers right at the top. Some long flyouts, handful of home runs and walks. Not what he's there for. Hit by pitches, a lot of singles in the jam range that can be exploited. And a handful down at the bottom, say 50 or so. Oh, 40. Yeah, okay. Well, he'll be playing both ways probably. So intangible B, that helps. And durability B. Okay, so we got a couple B intangibles so far. We got JP. I think everybody. Oh, Brendan Donald's an A. I didn't even notice that. Attaboy, Brendan. So that puts us at 80 already, which is big. I'm pretty sure Kershaw will get a get a fairly decent rating. He almost always does, and him in our bullpen, that one relief appearance was huge for us. Okay, so let's go to 80 pages, our only clutch batter. So I'll probably be hitting him like 5th or 6th or something like that. Very Luis Roberts-ish, believe it or not. I'd like to be able to play him just in right and get a center fielder and then sit Kepler. But doesn't look like that's going to happen. So he's probably our center fielder. So B50 -1. The 50 is going to kind of rears its ugly head at the worst times. I'd rather the B90 -1 or B plus 90. 8 base running, that's probably a little high. We'll take it. A few steals there. That's not bad. Intangibles B. We'll take another one. So we're up to 95, I think. And durability A, guys. On the right side, I get a few home run numbers, like 31. That's pretty good. Handful of walks. He didn't have the card against. I didn't have the season against lefties that he did last year. Although every time I rolled against the lefty last year, it was an out, so it doesn't really matter anyway. It felt like it anyway, even though I was probably expecting way too much. If somebody hits 375 or 380 against one side, you expect stuff every time. It seemed like he was a letdown all year long. That's a decent card. Let's see what we've got for on the left side. Up to 197 before the strikeouts start. Not a ton of home runs. Not too many clutch pop-outs. And then all the action down at the bottom, another 85 numbers. Yeah, it's probably about 170, 180 numbers against lefties. So it's very usable. Let's go to the crown jewel of the offense. Geraldo. I don't know how he wasn't clutch. Because he was clutch last year for sure. We got a B bunting, yeah. Base running 6. Yeah, that's fair. He's not the speediest guy in the world, but he's a good base stealer. 4.5, 3.6. Intangible B, yeah. I would even argue A, but I'll take a B. Durability A at shortstop. Can't beat that. Let's see how his on base and stuff worked out. I'm probably going to be hitting him second. 16 to 145. We got a fair few long flyouts. Those are going to be frustrating. And then close to 90 walks. Good. With only 15, 16 home run numbers. B power. That's short. That's okay. 313 to 330. Yep, pretty standard stuff. 367 to 412. Yeah, looks about right. And then the left side should be pretty good. Triples on both sides. Nice. to 189. Another 40 or so long flyout numbers. He did cash in a lot of RBIs with sac flies. Only 15, 16 home run numbers on the left. Although he only did get to 20, so it's not crazy. The walks to 315 is nice, and then no outs in the strikeout side. So the card goes 222 to 325, so there's 100 numbers right there, plus the 65 there, plus the 70 something there. Okay, so there's a 200 number card on the left side. Santana's going to be terrible. We got to keep him, though, so I'll probably just sit on my bench all year. Or we might get a pinch hit, the odd pinch hit, see if we can hit a home run. He's limited against left. His durability is F. His defense isn't great, but it's not the worst. And in a pinch, he did play first base. Got the F5, but you can still put him out there. Yeah, nothing great. Lane Thomas, I'm on the fence about keeping or not. He's still on my roster. Obviously, I can't use this card other than to pinch run or play a little defense. But signing with Kansas City, that kind of reminds me of him signing with Washington or getting traded to Washington. He's just got 30-30 potential. I don't know whether, and he's not quite 30 yet, or he just turned 30. I don't know. He kind of does well when everyone's forgotten about him. Eddie Julian, he was hitting well at the end of the year. I'm going to keep him. And then he plays a few positions too. Not well, but in a pinch. Card is really kind of unusable other than walks. I just like to see him get a full year at second base and just have them leave him alone, but they won't with that kid there. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. It might be wise now for me to cut bait on Eddie, but I've got a strange feeling that Donovan's going to get shifted somewhere. And another player that's turned it on at the end of the year and then they just stopped playing him was Matos. I'm sure he's done this every year and I just haven't been paying attention, but he had a 3-week stretch where he was just dynamite. He's clubbing the ball all over the place. So it's there. He can do it. Will he do it consistently? I don't know. There's a limited number versus left, which is good because that's his shit side. Probably because of all those home run numbers. And that's a fair amount of at-bats. I don't really have to worry about that. You can conceivably run him out there. His defense isn't great. I knew that. Against righties, he was decent. That's only 17 numbers for home runs against righties. Probably not worth putting him out there at all. But, yeah. Anyway, he's on my roster. Let's go to the good side now. It's a solid average team. We'll see how it plays. I'm not really too sure yet. Pitchers. We've got a few highlights. Finally got the jam on a couple guys. Screwball finally got the jam off, and Crochet got jam on, which is nice because he's got some deeps. Jesus got the off, and Adrian Morejon got the on. And on is completely useless because he doesn't have any deeps. But I don't think I got stiffed anywhere else. Let's see here. I still haven't got a Jam Plus, though, in nature. I've traded for a couple. Let's see. So Sean Burke. 25 long. I'll be using him out of the pen. He'll be like a kind of a mop-up sort of dude. B durability and 134 innings. You just run him out there. 50, 60 deep drives each side. Strikeouts reasonable. Walks are meh. It's a pretty average card. I mean, let's see what Dylan's got. Brings to the party. He's a 25, which is, it's about right. Doesn't go that deep in games. So let's see, tangible C, durability B. He's got some hard groundouts on the right side. Only 24 deeps, 200 strikeouts. This is my number 6 starter, by the way, so that's not horrible. Even the walks at the bottom aren't terrible. They're at the bottom. I mean, the walks to the lefties is it's a little high, but nothing egregious. There's a lot of teams who'd be happy to run him out in the 2-hole all year long and not worry about it. Let's see what Crochet brings to the party. D range, error 100, wild pitch C, box C. Pickoffs 1B and zeros, jam on. Intangible C. It might be a little low. It's hard to do. Get a big contract like that, get traded for, and then still produce number 2 in Cy Young voting. It was an impressive year. So let's see here. Just a few hard groundouts, but that's not his game. Let's see. About 30 numbers. Deep drives, about 30-ish. Strikeouts, about 200. So only a few singles, few doubles, few walks. Nice. That's his soft side. Only 10, no deeps, roughly 200 strikeouts, 10, say 20. I don't know, is it less than 30 numbers against lefties? Won't see too many lefties this year. And that that on will be a lifesaver. That means when there's anybody on base, when you roll a deep drive, it goes to foul. If you're unfamiliar. See what Logan's got. He might have a bad injury. No, he didn't. Good. Okay. Durability C, I can live with that. Although that could be up to 15 or 21 days. I'm not sure. If you roll really bad. Let's see how his numbers panned out. He's not a 30 this year, but he's still got 131 innings. I should still be able to use him 3rd or 4th all year long and not have to worry about it. Not many hard groundouts. There's 27 numbers there. The 60-something deep drives, yeah, it'll come into play. Close or over 200 strikeouts. Yeah, it's a very reasonable card. Should have a decent year for me too if he can stay on the field. And against lefties, maybe even a tiny bit better, but pretty close to the same both ways. Yep, that's what your big league starter should look like. So put him in the 3-4 hole. See how they rated Merrill. They gave him a 30. Nice. So he'll probably... What did they give Crochet? 30? 30. If I have 3 30s, that'd be stout. 6 pick, the +3. Well, pick off a few guys. Maybe be able to run on them. Tangible C, durability B. Wild pitch A, good. Okay, so against righties, no deeps. Nice. That's the deeps I worry about in my park as the right-handed batters because of the green monster. So that is 30 numbers plus 30 numbers plus 30 number. Yeah, probably right around 100 numbers on the right side. And he's usually a little bit better against lefties. So there's 10. There's close to 100 deeps, but in my park, if you don't hit the pesky pole, it's a long way. So I can live with that. 10, 20, plus say, yeah, so 70 or 80 numbers left. Yeah, it's probably sub 100 on the pitcher's card. This is our kind of shorthand rating. We're talking about a pitcher, and we say he's under 100 numbers. Means of the roughly 400 numbers that are in play, or 390 or 385, depending on how high his outfield range goes. If he's got less than 100 of those as in play, or in play and deep in a park where you can stomach the deep drives, like if it's less than a 25 or 30% chance of a home run, then it's pretty much an out most of the time. Sometimes it bites you in the ass, but I mean those are the kind of cards you're looking to get. Sub 100 numbers both ways. Good durability. You run them out there, you don't have to worry about it. He might not ever. This might be his last decent year. So he's been pretty solid though for his last 4 or 5 years. I've had him for a bit, and then I traded him to Tim for Perdomo. And Perdomo turned out, and I traded the prospects and stuff back to Tim for Kelly. Let's leave Jesus here. So I'm figuring if I go Scooble, Crochet, and then Kelly, and then Gilbert, I can carry an extra player on my roster for the games where I don't need, or the weeks where I don't need the fifth starter, and then I can flip flop between Cease and Luzardo. If I do that, though, I won't be able to control. Like if it's a team that mashes lefties and it's Luzardo's turn, I'll have to run him out there. Whereas if I do it a little differently, I might have a little more control over it. We'll see. So Luzardo should be really good against lefties. There's 30 numbers, no deeps. Another 30 numbers. Yeah, it was 70 or 80 numbers, so that's pretty good. Righty should be a little weak. Usually is. It's usually walks and stuff like that. Okay, there's 30-ish. Deep drives is nice. Okay, only a dozen or so. 13, 14. Strikeouts are dynamite against left and pretty good against right. 140-ish almost. 21 doubles. Yeah, it's very usable. Very, very usable. And he's got the off, which should help him. And, he's a 30 too. Holy smokes. I didn't realize that. Okay. Wow, that increases his value. This might be the best card that I have. More John. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I'll just use him out of the bullpen, obviously. But so let's see here. 22 numbers, no deeps. Another, say, 20. About 40 numbers on the left. And on the right, 30. No deeps. Another 30. Yeah, less than 100. I don't know if it's closer material, but it's use them a lot material. That's a pretty good card. Santian. Oh, A-4. Nice. Don't have to worry about pitch running late with him. Intangible C. Durability A. Nice durability. Okay. This card kind of reminds me of Jason Adams last year. Except instead of the -4, Adam had a +4. Okay, handful of deeps on the left side. Say 32. Right. Or left. Yeah, the walks on the left, but that's pretty solid. Let's see what old Tarek brings to the party. I was going to say, he might just be a 25. They do tend to yank him after 5. But he give him a 30. And he's got A-2. Wild pitch A, nice. Intangibles A. Wow, okay. Yeah, I guess. What did they give Crochet? A B or a C? Okay, C. Well, we'll take it. Let's see here. Some hards both ways. Not a ton, but some. Say 15, 16 numbers there. Few deeps. Like high 20s. 200 strikeouts. Seems to be pretty standard stuff in this staff. So let's see. We got 16 numbers plus 14 numbers. There's 30 plus 22. 52 numbers, right? Yeah. You take that all day long. It's left, which is you kind of want your lefty to have a little. If he's going to have a little bit weaker side, tiny bit, you don't mind if it's lefties because not many lefties mash lefties. Wow. Okay, so that's more numbers than I thought. There, that's almost 50. So call it 45 plus another 40. So 85. Probably close to 100 numbers on the left side. You live with that. The right side's what's gonna pay the bills. And the 30 durability. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what old Clayton got. Durability F. Son of a bitch. That's right. I do remember seeing that. We got the intangible A. Okay. A plus -4. Just as a reliever, you just kind of hoping to dodge some shit. Situation on, but he doesn't have any deeps. Okay, I thought he would have some deeps. It's a very reasonable card for a guy in the late stages of his career who ran up 100 innings, and you're just going to use him in the bullpen as a long man or a, situational kind of guy. It looks like he's better against righties than lefties. A little bit. It's still very usable. Okay, that's I'm not at all displeased. A few things could have gone a little better, but a few things could have also gone a little worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to post it, and then we'll... do you want to watch me fix the schedule? I don't know if I've ever done that on video before. So let's go into the league settings. Let's call it the 2026. Excuse me. Let's go into the future. I think I clicked. What did I call my other Grapenut Leagues? So that was 2025 last year, so I'll have to name it 2026. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try this start all extra innings with a runner on second, just for shits and gigs. I do 4 teams because it's a lot easier to manage and I can monkey around with things. I don't have to change 15 different teams or anything like that. We have 20 teams in our league if you're not familiar. So there's 20 potential lineups I could be throwing out there. Not a lot of teams have rosters that will support doing stuff like this right off the hop. Like even Miami might be a little light on pitching, and maybe even the Clubbers might be a little light, and I myself might be a little light on pitching just to do things straight up without adding any players to it to fill in holes. So let's save those settings. And let's go to the schedule. Should have a schedule from last year already in there. So let's edit the schedule. I want to set it so I play at Miami first, just for that's just tradition. And we'll make it 4 games. For some reason, it always changes the first series to 3 games. And there's an off day after game 8, so this is a travel day. We'll save that one. Let's go down to series 2. Yeah, Storm against the Mob, Clubbers against the Vice. All right. 1 day off after series 2, series 4. Good. See what we got for the next one. Mob and Clubbers. Vice and Storm. Good. 4. Do we have 4 in that one? I don't think we'll go much past this one. Clubbers, Mob, Vice, Storm, 4 games. Oh, my Cedo. What is up, my buddy? Well, what I'll do is I'll just save it like this. And that way we can just get started. I'm just going to monkey around with a few things, play a few games, and see who needs what before I set it officially. So we just have kind of a couple of scratch games just to see how everything plays. And I'm going to do that now, but I'll shut this off and post the video. And if you have anything that you want me to look up, like say you want to see, I don't know, so-and-so's card or whatever, feel free to drop a note in the comments. And I can probably arrange something. Or if you have any questions about what I'm doing, what I'm rambling on about, feel free. I'm usually pretty available to answer stuff. And Merry HiTSmas! The Grapenut League is about to begin.